Hey, it's Wednesday, it's noon hour, and we're at another Inspyrd Talk. And today I want to talk about human trafficking, healing from trauma, and what the data is finally catching up to. About a year ago, last December, I stepped into a world that quietly reshaped how I understand trauma, how I understand healing, and mostly how I have understood hope. I began working alongside women who had survived human trafficking, not as case studies, not as headlines, but as human beings rebuilding their lives. Now, they're all part of a survivor-led organization called Rising Angels Awareness and Restorative Care. And the purpose of the work was simple, but I believe truly brave. Katerina and her organization wanted to ask whether their support services could be better. Not just kinder, because they are very kind, but more effective. This was a quality improvement initiative inside their survivor-led community. Ethical, careful, respectful, no spectacle, no pressure. And what emerged was something both sobering to me and yet brought extreme hope. Now, for decades, trauma care has relied heavily on approaches that ask people to repeatedly talk about what happened to them. And while those methods help some people, the overall research picture is mixed, especially for complex trauma. But alongside that reality, another body of research has emerged and is growing fast. At places like King's College in London or Walter Reed Hospital in the United States, and in large-scale studies with military, first responders, and people from all walks of life, we're seeing something striking. When trauma interventions use specific techniques like visual spatial tasking within their overall methodology, that helps bring the brain to restore memories instead of relive them, and outcomes improve dramatically. Many of these approaches sit within the framework of neuro-linguistic programming, and their effectiveness has been formally reviewed and recognized by bodies such as the Research and Recognition Organization. What's important here isn't the name of the method. What matters is how healing happens. Trauma isn't just a story we tell, it's a pattern held in the nervous system. And when the brain is given the right kind of task, it can reconsolidate those memories in a way that restores choice, restores calm, and restores present. Now, that's not hope as a feeling, that's hope as a mechanism. And I'd like to talk about the bigger picture. We're hearing a lot about rising numbers of human trafficking cases. Now, in some media releases, it says this is because awareness and tracking have improved. And I hope that's true. But it may also be true that trafficking itself is increasing. And here's the part we can all agree on, I believe. Whether the numbers are rising or simply being revealed, the impact is real. The impact on the survivors of human trafficking is profound. The impact on their families is generational. And the impact on communities is measurable. We measure it in lost leadership, lost creativity, lost contribution, lost people. And trauma just doesn't harm the individual. It actually removes people from participating in their community. Now, here's a hopeful turn, and it matters deeply. Trauma is not identity. Trauma is an injury. And the injuries heal when we match them with the right tools. Over the past year, what I've witnessed isn't dramatic transformation overnight. It's something quieter and even more sustainable. Better sleep, reduced reactivity, moments of ease returning, people beginning to imagine their future again. Not because they've tried harder, but because their nervous systems finally had a way to quiet down. And this matters, especially now. We're entering a season centered on family, connection, and belonging. We're entering a season where many of us feel safe enough to exhale. For survivors of trafficking, safety isn't a given. It's something that their nervous system has to relearn. And the good news is this: the science is catching up to the humanity. And the tools exist 100%. The question isn't whether healing is possible, it's whether we're willing to support approaches that actually work, and to listen to survivor-led organizations when they tell us what helps. So here's my gentle invitation as we move into this season. Please, please, please stay curious. Support evidence-based, survivor-led work. And when the conversations about trauma come up, remember this: healing doesn't require reliving the past forever. Sometimes it requires giving the brain a new way forward. And that's how individuals heal. That's how families repair, and that's how communities get their people back. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. And you saw something that moved you, or if you heard something that inspired you to act, then I hope you'll follow, share, or learn more. Because healing trauma requires both compassion and evidence. I thank you for being part of a future where healing is both.